Hello everybody, I'm Mark Mazzatenta and thank you for joining me today. I'm here to help strengthen your guitar skills normally, but today we're gonna get off the road here and explore something that is a property of nature. It's just something that happens with sound, and it's called the Overtone Series. So let's talk about what that is, because it's a really interesting thing that happens you may not be aware of. Now, guitar players, if you've played natural harmonics before, you've actually tapped into this Overtone Series. You may not have known that. For the others of you, let's go ahead and describe what this is. So when you hear a note, we'll call that the fundamental. There's actually more notes inside that are sounding above that fundamental. Now, you may not be able to hear them. Maybe you can hear one or two of them, but they're there. They can actually be measured and seen on a screen. And so what I'm going to do is I'll play a low A, which is the fundamental, and then the 15 overtones. There are more of them, but I'll play 15 that are actually sounding as part of that note. Okay, what you just heard was this. You heard a fundamental pitch, and then you can see the other pitches that live within that pitch, which are called the overtones. Up above that, you can also see the note names. And the hertz number there just means that those pitches are vibrating per second. That hertz number is per second of vibrations. Now, you don't just have to hear an A. This happens with any note. So whatever the note is, just to show you another example, for instance, if you played a C as your fundamental, there's the same series of overtones. It's just in this case, the letters are different because you've started on a C, but the ratio of the order of those overtones is exactly the same. So let's talk about what I mean by that ratio. The fundamental gets heard. The first overtone is an octave above that. And then as we progress, you get the fifth above the fundamental. Then you get another octave. Then you get the third, the major third. Then you get another fifth. Then you get the flat seven. You get an octave, etc. Sharp 4, 5. You can see that the intervals get smaller as you progress up those overtones. So this is what happens when a string vibrates or a column of air vibrates. And this also defines why one instrument and another instrument playing the same note have a different tone quality. It's because of the nature of those overtones, which ones are emphasized, which ones are louder, and they give each instrument its own tone quality. And also, all of our music kind of references this overtone series, like the scales that we use and the triads that we're used to hearing and how we tune. And we use the circle of fifths, which is referencing the Overtone series. So it's just embedded in the music that we're used to listening to. Now, here's the visual of what a string is actually doing when it's vibrating. So you see, you could just, this would be the fundamental pitch up here. And then you can see when you divide, or I should say, when you find the halfway point, of the string, you would get an overtone. If you divide the string into 3 parts, that little node spot there would generate the next overtone, etc. So guitar players, you know what this is, because playing an open string is like this. Then if you divide the string into 2 equal parts, the 12th fret, that gives you the next octave. All right, and so forth, just along this, exactly with this visual. If you divide the string into 3 equal parts, you get the 5th above. When you divide the string into 4 parts, play that node. I'm playing natural harmonics. You get another root. And then if I keep going, that's the 3rd. That's the 5th. It's a little hard to hear, but so that's a good illustration of some of the overtones. Now I'm going to hit this 6th string really hard and see if you can hear any of those overtones. Ooh, I can hear that 3rd, the C sharp. Ooh, see if you can hear it. That's just one example of hearing those higher overtones. All right, I think some of the coolest examples is when you hear vocal groups like barbershop quartets, right? Or a choir. When they sing a harmony with a certain tuning and resonance and with their lips and tongues in a certain position, you actually hear some higher overtones being created. They're not being sung. They're actually notes that are being created that no one's singing. It's just an overtone that happens. And that is the coolest thing to see happen. All right, everybody. So now you know what the Overtone series is, and it exists. And try to listen to those notes when you hear, maybe just try playing a deep, low pitch, which would be a fundamental, and then see if your ear can actually hear the other pitches that are within that pitch. It's fun. Try it out. Thanks for joining me. See you at the next video.